But to me, street fighting is not a competition. It's just what works, right? What works, works. So what works for me is you have to have constant pressure and constant forward pressure. And they're two different things. One, my constant pressure is simply that I'm not ever sitting back on my back foot and being taken off guard or put on my heels. If I'm getting pushed so hard I can't hold up, I'll either drop to my knees and do something dumb that may work, or I'll slide back and slide to the side and keep firing techniques into my opponent. And remember, we got knees, elbows, fingers to the eyes, palm heel strikes, and I've left out my favorite, which is a headbutt. So we have a way to practice a frame. Remember, we're going to be saluting. So if I'm moving to my left, I protect my left cheek. If I'm moving to my right, I protect my right cheek. If someone's coming at me, I'm most likely not going to step forward and be baited into bullshit, but I'm going to take a step backwards and I'm going to frame. So, and never cross my hands. Not sit on my heels, don't cross my hands. So I want my weight down through my knees and the ball of my feet so I can press either way real quick. And I want to be able to use my hammer fist and even hopefully, if I'm lucky, I'll get time to get to some sort of a weapon or equalizer. And I think that's actually pretty cool. So one of the things I will show you, talking about some of my favorite stuff that I haven't shown here, if I can get one of you guys over here for a second. This is the no fun part. This is the no fun zone, right? So one of the things I do when I find people coming at me, with or without a weapon sometimes, as they start to approach me with punches, kicks, grabs, I block them out right away. So once again, as they start to come in and encroach on my space, I work space with them and I match their movement. He comes in again a little harder. I make sure I've got my constant pressure going. He comes in trying to get at me and punch me. I block everything out and I hit him in the balls. Bang. As soon as you do that, he leans forward, bam, and I headbutt him in the temple. It's one of my favorite techniques ever. So they come in, I shoot down here, bang, headbutt, and then you can throw the knee. In competition, you can get the knee. Listen, in competition, let me ask you a question. Is that illegal? If I do this in competition, he knows exactly what's happening. And it may even hurt more than a slap. A slap kind of tingles the nerves at the skin surface. So if we're in here working and I want to pass on him, as I'm working, I'll go slap that leg. And if you ever try that, that brings all your attention right to that area. Faster than an actual hit or a hard kick. It's just a simple slap, but it like stings, right? So immediately, people tend to pike their hips, put their weight on their heels, and lean forward. So come on in here, Ruben. It's his turn. Let's work from the opposite direction for a second. So a lot of times, guys come in, they're throwing punches, they're rushing. I'll try to check off this backside here, but I want to get behind them. So I want to get back here on their backside. So I've already checked off the back of their forearm here. I've got a lot of stuff I can work with, all this trapping stuff. I just want to block here, right? And I want to slap down here. I mean, a lot of times I'll go right to the nad sack, right? But all I'm doing, once we get to this point, I just slap, and then I'm going to walk behind him. Normally it's with chokes or weapons. So this happens really fast. He takes a swing at me, bam, we're here, right? Can you feel it? You just immediately tip forward. The other one is a pendulum block. So if we get hooked up face to face, I do the same thing as he comes in here, and I smack the groin and then headbutt. Now, I don't always headbutt here. If he goes off to the backside, I'll catch him with the round parts of my head. I would just suggest don't use the very top of the head where the baby soft spot is, because you're a pretty tough guy. You can take a good hit, right? If you just lean forward a little and bull your neck, like, and look at me and I do this, is that hurting? Not too bad. You can take that, right? If he looks down and stops looking at me and he exposes the top, it's a little different, right? Almost knocks you down. I'm not hitting any harder, right? So it's like you hit a soccer ball with your head. When you're down and you're about to get hit, right? You bull your neck and you take it here. Don't ever duck like this. If a guy hits you right on top of the head, I don't know if he's going to knock you out, but he's damn sure going to knock you down, right? You felt that immediately, right? So it's like, wow. And he's going to go home and find someone to practice with. So it's good. All right.
Hey, it's Jimbo here with your next tip. This one's about home invasion. It used to be that burglars would wait until you were gone before breaking into your home. Not anymore. Home invasions are becoming more common because, frankly, the bad guys actually want you to be home, to get your debit card and PIN number, or to find out exactly where you've hidden your cash, or to get the combination to your safe. Thing is, this is a life and death situation for you and your family. You and your family may not survive it even if you give these goons exactly what they want. In that kind of a scenario, using lethal force to protect yourself and your loved ones is justified. Problem is, what if you're taken by surprise? You may not be able to get to a weapon in time, which is why it's important for you to know how to use your bare hands as lethal weapons. And that's exactly what I've got for you, a series of lethal techniques that can end a deadly threat in seconds using nothing but your bare hands. I've got some U.S. Special Forces to show you their secrets, their extremely ruthless and grisly moves. Pretty shocking stuff, really. I would show them to you right now, but I can't. They're considered to be too violent and deadly for this platform. I've already been warned a couple of times, so showing this on my channel would get me shut down for sure. But you can get them for free just by clicking on the link in the description. Okay, let's move on to our next tip.
A lot of martial arts, they train against unrealistic attack. Maybe all they do is train against a straight line type of attack. Or they might train against exotic attacks. Could be the tiger's claw, crane's beak, and those things you're not going to see on the street. It's important to include in your training a lot of haymakers, sloppy strikes. If all you see are those exotic strikes or the straight type techniques, when you actually get on the street and somebody throws that crazy haymaker in a violent way, it can freak you out and in fact freeze you sometimes.
You want to train the high percentage techniques. What that means is you want to train for what's really going to happen on the street and not what is theoretical. Because in reality, most people are going to be untrained. They're not going to know 21 angles of stabbing techniques. They're going to know basically sewing machine, a cycle stab. It's going to be very narrow, their ability. And so you have to train against that very unschooled way of fighting.
I'm going to break this down for you step by step. As your opponent attacks, first thing you want to do is bring up your guard, lower your center of gravity. You're going to put your knee into the inside of your opponent's leg. Next thing you're going to do immediately, bring an elbow strike to the side of his head and or his chin. You're going to turn straight back out, reaching straight up and through in between his arms, wrapping your arm to the outside and locking the crook of both of your arms together. Lift up, applying pressure, and immediately grab the throat. Pushing your opponent off balance, you're going to lock your hand into the crook of your own arm. That way if he struggles, you're not going to lose him. Lower him to the ground slowly. And hold him there.
Thanks for watching our video lessons here at TRS Direct. Hit the like button down below and consider subscribing to our channel here on YouTube. Hit the bell icon and we'll send you a notification when there's a new lesson available. Thanks again for watching.